What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin, and on here we talk everything lifestyle, health, fitness, and now we are talking about my adoption journey. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you will always be notified when I post a video. If you're a current subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram right here. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So how did we land on adoption? Was it our first choice? Was it something that we always wanted to do? How did we decide which agency we wanted to use? These are all these questions that I'm going to be answering for you here today. My husband and I were married in 2018. We met in early 2016, and he is a little bit older than I am, but we always knew that we wanted to start a family and have a family of our own. So we went to the doctor and we were checking everything out, making sure that we were both healthy. And in 2016, my husband had a vasectomy. So we were looking into options of how to have that reversed. What are the options for doing that? What are the health risks? Are there benefits? You know, everything like that. So we already kind of had odds against us. So we went and saw a fertility specialist here in Las Vegas. And she had told us, with all the things that were kind of working against us, that IUI or IVF might be our best case scenario. So we sat down with the specialist and her intake partners, and we kind of started exploring all of our options, if we were going to do IUI or we were going to do IVF. And insurance does cover IUI, but with the circumstances and the things that were happening for us, IUI wasn't really the best alternative for our situation. So she immediately moved us over to IVF. So with IVF, of course, there are several shots that you need to take. My husband would have needed to take. So when we sat down with the intake coordinator and we started discussing our options, whether we were going to do IUI or IVF, we immediately knew that IUI was off the table, just given the circumstances with my husband's vasectomy that would need to be reversed. And so we immediately jumped to IVF. So we looked at everything when it came to IVF. So of course, health was our most important factor when it came down to it. And after researching all of the things that IVF comes with, so after careful consideration and a lot of praying, we decided that IVF was not the way that we wanted to go ahead and start our family. My husband is going to be 51 this year, and we just didn't want to wait that long, essentially. Or if we were going to wait that long, what were our options, essentially? So that led us to adoption. So here we are officially adopting our child, and we couldn't be any more excited than we are right now. So I'm a research junkie. I research everything, especially when it comes to my husband, because he doesn't want to be put with all of these things in front of him and all of these options. So I did all of the researching, and then when I thought the best information was in front of me, that's when I presented him with all the things. So initially we were looking at adopting through the state, and originally we wanted an older child. We were looking at a child that was possibly 7-8 years old, and we were very excited. Of course, we started talking to our moms about it, and they said, would you please consider looking at a child who was 3 or 4 years old? So we changed our mindset, and sure, that's what we were doing. We were looking for a child that was 3 or 4 years old. When we spoke with the state, they were really awful. It was a really tough process. We were in quarantine, and we still are, and our conversation was over Zoom, and it really wasn't right. I felt like we were being lied to, because I do know families who have adopted children this age from the state, and they were very adamant about only accepting adoptive families that would take on an older child. And I really do understand the aspect of that, because everyone wants an infant, everyone wants a younger child, and of course they want to move these children who are older into forever families. So I totally respect what they're doing. It just wasn't the right fit for us. So that led us to domestic infant adoption. So if you don't know what domestic infant adoption is, domestic is, of course, you're adopting through the US, and infant, of course, you obviously know what that is. So now we have gone from looking at a 7 to 8 year old to a 3 to 4 year old, and now we are looking at an infant. So here we are at domestic infant adoption. So once I knew we were going this avenue, I started feverishly looking up different agencies. And we had interviewed with a few different agencies, and I just wasn't getting a good vibe from them. Not that I felt like I was getting lied to, but I just felt like they weren't giving me the warm and fuzzies. And I'm such a person who goes off of everything by instinct. So I just didn't find anyone that I really truly loved. So of course I went back to my computer and started researching like crazy, and I found our current adoption agency, or I should say adoption facilitator, and there is a difference. If you want me to make a video on that, let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to let you know. So we chose our adoption facilitator. They're amazing. They're so great. Every single person in that company has been touched by adoption in some way, whether they were adopted or whether they have adopted a child of their own. And I really like that, because adoption is really an interesting topic that I still don't know everything about, of course. Adoption is really something that is very interesting. My father was adopted, and my grandmother on my mom's side was adopted, and both are since gone, but I really wish I would have asked more questions when they were here, because I would have really loved to hear their perspective on it. But adoption is really, it's a beautiful thing for the adoptive family, but at the end of the day, it does stem from loss, because this expectant mother, who then becomes a birth mother, is selflessly giving up her child for a better life. So that is, it's really, really a beautiful thing that these moms are doing for their children, and of course for the waiting families who may have struggled with infertility or just want to have a child in this possible way. We chose to work with Lifelong Adoptions, and we're very, very excited about it. So what's our current process look like right now? Well, we have signed our contract, sent over the fee, and now we have started our profile. So how it works is there's two profiles. You get a paper profile, and then you get an online profile with this company. So it's a little bit different than other agencies that I have looked into, because most ask for the home study to be complete before you're sent out profiles. But with this facilitator, it's actually much different. It kind of goes backwards. So we will do our paper profile, which is a little bit about us, and then of course the letter to the expectant mother, which, by the way, was the hardest thing I have ever had to write in my entire life. Oh my goodness. So right now the facilitator is working on building our paper profile. So what we do, what we like to do for fun, how we are as a couple, what's our home like, etc. So this woman will open up this beautiful brochure and start looking through our photos, and hopefully want to reach out and have a conversation with us. So in the meantime, while they're building our paper profile, we are working with a social worker here in Nevada, and we will start the process of our home study. So we're actually doing that this week. So that is also a crazy, crazy process. If you want to know what the home study is like, again, leave a comment down below. I'm happy to talk about anything. But what I intend on doing with this channel is kind of taking you along our adoption journey in real time, because so many of our friends and family and my clients are so interested in sharing this journey with us. And I thought, you know what, why not? Let's go ahead and everyone can go through the journey along with us. And then if someone is interested in the adoption process like I was, there's really not a lot of content about it. So I thought, you know what, let's make this channel about our journey. That's where we are right now. Our profile is being built out and we are starting our home study process. If you want to see more information about adoption or fitness or health or lifestyle, because I kind of do a little bit of everything here on this channel, please let me know. Give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel. Hit the notification bell, hit that subscribe button. And you too can go along this journey with me and my husband and our 3 dogs as we tackle the whirlwind craziness that is our adoption journey. We are so excited to have you come along the ride with us. It makes us feel like we're kind of all in this together. So thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thanks so much for supporting our journey, and we will see you next week. Bye.